Welcome back, and now we're going to be going over how to create a vault cluster on HCP. So we're going to go ahead and open up a new tab here, and then I'm going to go to HCP Cloud. There we go. And I'm going to sign in. Now, the HCP Vault enables you to quickly deploy Vault Enterprise Cluster in AWS, but as a fully managed service. So you can leverage Vault as a central secret management service and offload all the operational burden to the SRE team at HashiCorp, which is why I'm going to use HCP for this pretty much the duration of when I'm using HCP, because I do not feel like managing all of that. It's just more things to patch, more things to go wrong, more things to manage, and it's super cheap, so why not? If you haven't already done so, go through my videos on just the getting started section of Vault. It's not required to deploy a Vault server in HCP, but I recommend just kind of going through it to get used to the terminology. Okay, I'm not going to be using a HashiCorp virtual network. If you have one, you can skip any stuff that I talk about that talks about that. But we will be making one. So we're gonna start with the portal here and log in. Make sure you have an org. When I do, you can invite other people to join if you want to. Choose your org, and then we're on our overview page. So this is where you should be starting. And what we want to do is we want to click on Deploy Vault right here. All right, and this is our HVN, our HashiCorp Virtual Network. You can, as I said in the previous video, connect this to AWS directly, so you don't have to use the internet, but I'm not going to do any of that yet. All right, so at this page, you can accept or modify the default network name. I'm just going to leave it. You can select the desired AWS region. West 2 is fine. I think I have mine set to East 1. I think I'm going to do that just in case I need features that aren't available in another region. And then accept or modify your CIDR block. So this enables communication between HVN and VPCs. It's an important step in the deployment process, and the value cannot be changed. I'm fine with this. I will probably never use 172.25.16, so that is fine with me. This, just make sure this doesn't, and the reason I say that, make sure this doesn't overlap with any existing VPC address spaces that you may already have. All right, so then we'll go ahead and click Create Network, and this takes a few minutes, and says about 5 minutes. So I'll go ahead and pause the video and keep going once it's done. All right, and my network has been created. There's a warning here. You can ignore this for now. It just says create a peering connection or transit gateway attachment to connect your AWS infrastructure. So we'll probably do that. I'll go ahead and set that up, but I'll build all that with Terraform once this is all set up so that we have our Terraform and our Vault integrated. I may upgrade this so we can also integrate Sentinel policies, and then the final step will be actually using Packer to create our images. So hopefully we can get all of those tools integrated together. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a cluster, and we're going to create a Vault cluster. And for the cluster ID, you can name it whatever you want. I'm just going to leave it as the default name. Under Vault tier, you have to make a selection, development, starter, or standard. Small projects, proof of concept. This one has audit logging and backups and restore. And it's affordable, which means it costs money. They recommend starter for production and standard, of course, for large orgs. Since we're just kind of doing some testing and things, I'm just going to stick with development. And that should be fine. Just make sure you don't use that for prod. All right, so we want to allow public connections from outside of our network. Not recommended for prod clusters, but we're going to do it for now. so that we can connect to it via the public internet. All new HCP Vault clusters are configured with public access disabled by default, so making your Vault cluster publicly accessible is not recommended, but for going through like a tutorial kind of thing like we're doing, it's fine. Like I said, I'm probably gonna update this at some point. So 3 cents per hour. Let's look at that. So if I have 3 cents, 3 cents, and I left this up 24 hours a day and 365 days a year, it come out to $21.90 a month for a extra small cluster. So that's what you can expect if you have, like I said, it has 25 clients are limited to 25, up to 60 requests per second. So that's what you're limited to with the extra small cluster at 3 cents an hour, $21.90. And a client, as you can see here, is any user, app, or microservice interacting with Vault. Anyways, so we'll go into all that. We will use the extra small for development clusters. It's the only option available, so that's pretty easy. And then we'll go ahead and click Create Cluster. All right, so now we have to wait for this to initialize before we go forward, and then we'll go ahead and start messing with our Vault cluster. As you can see, this takes a little bit of time, under 15 minutes, so we'll come back once it's ready. All right, and this cluster is done initializing. So this is the Vault cluster overview, and this page displays the Vault cluster, and within that overview tab displays the Vault configuration. And you can administer the Vault servers with web UI, command line, CLI, whatever you want to use. So we're going to go ahead and access this with the web UI, and then we'll do the CLI and then an API call using curl. So under Vault config over here, we'll have a public cluster URL. So clusters, we have private and then public. So we went ahead and copied that. In a new browser tab, I'm going to enter this cluster ID. And just like our previous stuff, you can see it's using port 8200/UI. Cool. The login page, by default, Vault enables token authentication method. So we have to come back here and generate a token. So we'll go ahead and do that. Generate admin token. And once our confirmation dialog appears, we will get an admin token pop-up that displays the token. And then we'll go ahead and copy that. And for now, I'm actually going to stick this, there it is, on a notepad file, just in case I need it later. Go ahead and close. You do not need to say this token will expire in 6 hours, but you'll be able to generate a new one. Sweet. All right, so now we're going to return to the UI, and the default is going to be /default or whatever, and then our token will be here, and then we can click sign in. And there we are. I have a secrets engine. So note that our current namespace here is admin. We're going to have to learn a little bit about namespaces. Login doesn't require you to specify an admin namespace because it's embedded into the token. So your token s dot whatever, the token s is the type, and the token with a namespace, whatever it is at the beginning of your token string, will define what that is. So anyways, so that's it for doing the UI, but since it's so short, what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you how to do it with the CLI command. So if I come into here, let's go ahead and close this guy, we can export our Vault ADDR and set that equal to our public cluster URL, which is this guy. Bloop. I don't know if I need quotes or not, so we'll find out. And then we're going to export our Vault namespace as admin. Then we can just do a Vault status. And I might need to redo this address, but we'll see here in a second. There it is. Cool. So we're good there. So that's how you would do it with the CLI. If you go back, well, anyways, that's working. So we're not completely done. So we'll get our admin token. Let me copy that again. Copy. And then we're going to do a Vault login. Vault login with this guy. So if that works. Sweet. And we're in. So the last part, you can do the current token configuration. We'll just do Vault token lookup. And we should be able to see the namespace here set to admin. Indicates we're currently logged into the admin namespace. Namespace path, admin. Sweet, that looks good. So let's try doing the same thing, but with an API call. So let me copy my public cluster name again. Copy. And then let's see. Well, I don't need to export that because we already exported it. We have a token. So let's do the token. So we're going to do export vault underscore token equals, and then let me grab my token, that guy. Okay, and then verify connectivity. So we're just going to curl our header with our vault token and the namespace of admin, and then do a lookup. Could not resolve host. Let me check and see if let me try this. Export vault addr equals, and let's copy this. I don't know if this new session needs a new address or not. There we go. Cool. So that's the first option. The second option is to prepend the API endpoint with the target namespace. So instead of adding that later, you can just curl the header with the token and then just add append this namespace. You can just add vault addr as it like that. I kind of like that version better anyways. So that is it. We've created a cluster using HCP Vault, and we've accessed that Vault cluster with the web UI, with CLI commands, and with API calls using curl. So there you have it.